September is in full swing, and it's also Hunger Action Month, which is a time to raise awareness when it comes to food insecurity.
It impacts households across the U.S., but there's one group of people you probably haven't thought of, and that's college students.
That's right. Now we want to show you some stats. The rise of food insecurity in college students means a greater demand for meals across the board. A recent report shows there were 88 food pantries on American college campuses back in 2012. Now that number has grown significantly 10 years later, with more than 800 pantries opened by 2022.
That same study surveyed over 700,000 college students around the country, and over 315,000 of them reported some level of food insecurity. But why is that number so high?
The report says it's because of growing stigma behind getting help, students' busy schedules, and also a lack of cooking skills, all pointing to reasons for not having access to food. Also, not to mention the high cost to ensure you have your materials for class. Now, one of those many college food pantries I mentioned is right here in the state line at NIU. I got to learn what the university is doing to address the issue and how more people can get help.
Being an adult and having bills, it's like a give or a take. So sometimes I'll have to sacrifice probably like a phone bill or something like that just to, put a couple extra dollars to make sure that I can get through the week food-wise.
Barbara is one of 600 NIU Huskies who visit the campus food pantry each semester, visiting for the last year and a half.
We are college students, some of us are athletes, some of us are parents, you know what I'm saying? So food is fuel. It can be hard to try to find, a healthy schedule and relationship with food.
It's called the Husky Food Pantry, where students not only shop for canned goods, but also nutritious foods like meats and vegetables, all free of charge.
We're focusing on a dignified and respectful shopping experience for our students, but also one of our top values is the well-being of our students, which involves nutritious foods. So the last thing I want is for this to feel like this is the last place before the food hits the dumpsters. Another issue is there's stigma behind using resources, especially with food. So there's certain barriers that keep our students from coming in and using the pantry.
But what is this stigma with college food insecurity, and why does it exist?
Society kind of has this running joke almost of like, oh, broke college students. When I was in college, I lived off of ramen and cereal. It makes it hard for them to want to go and ask for help and to admit, because they feel like it's this rite of passage. You have to go through a period of time where you can't pay your, can't get the food you need. It's okay if you don't, have the money you need for groceries. It doesn't mean that you don't have, the resources to take care of yourself. You might decide I need to buy some books, and so I'm gonna go to the pantry and get free groceries that way so that I can use my resources to buy books I need for school.
Jeannie oversees the pantry, working with student volunteers to ensure everyone has a meal. In her time, she's invited many students to grab what they might need, but not everyone thinks it's for them.
And there was one that wanted to. The other friend or member with them kind of gave him a hard time. He's like, no, we don't. We don't need that. So there's always a need to build education and awareness.
According to a 2022 USDA report, 12.8% of U.S. households have experienced food insecurity. But that percentage is even higher among college students, increasing to at least 25%. Jeannie, on a mission to change that.
It's rewarding, but at the same time, it's frustrating that there has been so much work over so many years to deal with hunger, and it continues to rise.
Such a cool service they have available there, and the Husky Food Pantry is actually open to all NIU students, even if you live off campus. Make sure to check it out.